Hey, you guys, welcome to this week's episode of Gay Like Me Live. As you guys know, this is normally my podcast that I do, just audio. But since we are quarantining and self-distancing and all that good stuff, I had to figure out, well, how am I going to do my podcast? And we can't see or be with each other. So I decided to do Gay Like Me Live, and it's here for you guys to see. And this week on Gay Like Me Live, I have Ray Cunningham. Y'all may know him as Misster Ray. I gotta figure out when I've known Ray so long time. I don't remember how we met each other, but we know each other for a long time. But I do remember before I knew who he was, I remember seeing him on College Hill. He was one of the first, maybe the first gay person on reality, openly gay person on reality TV that I knew, especially on BET at that. So yeah, I'm about to bring you guys Misster Ray. Hey, Ray.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
It's Friday.
So you ready to drink already?
We're gonna have us a good old time today.
So hey, how are you?
I heard your introduction. Yes, I was the first openly gay. I'm not saying I'm the only gay. There was a couple queens before me, but I was the first openly gay one on BET. Because technically, I don't count Karamo. There's no shade to Karamo. But Karamo wasn't openly gay on TV. Remember, he was like closeted, and then he finally came out later, and it was a whole big thing. So that's why I said I was gay out the door.
So we're gonna get into that. So if you can describe Ray in three words, what would you say Ray is? Who would you say Ray is?
Classy, ratchet, and bougie. No. No, I would say Ray. 3 words to describe me. I would say hardworking. I would say resilient, and I would say a survivor.
Okay. Those are good words. Those are good words to be by. Now wait, can I do you share your age?
Yeah, I'm 36. I just turned 36.
Okay. Well, happy belated birthday. It was a couple of weeks ago. Yes, happy birthday.
Yes.
So we want, because everybody can see the outward person of you. They know that you have a lot of personality. But I like to have these conversations because people don't really get to know who people really are and where they came from and how this all happened. People just think that people just kind of popped up out the blue and they're here.
No.
And I know it doesn't work.
No. It's a lot of work. It's been a lot of networking, a lot of just self-reinventing. Because you got to remember, when I came along in 2006, there was only MySpace was at its peak of popularity, but it was also phasing out. And Facebook was brand new. And remember, at that point in time, you had to have a .edu college email address to even get on Facebook. So I came out in between social media. So if you wasn't watching me on College Hill on Thursdays on BET, or the little fan interview questions we did on the Friday after the episode aired, there was no outlet for us to really do anything, again, besides you being in my top 8 on MySpace. But through that, I've been able to network. I met you because I don't know how we met. You're good friends with one of my best friends, Mike Franklin.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm like, how did I was like, but I've known Ray for so long, but I've known Ray. I know Mike for a very long time.
I remember he used to talk about you when you not talk about you in a bad way, but like you'd be like, "Oh, this is my friend that's on the Atlanta. This is when Atlanta Housewives first started, and it was you and B. Scott that used to be around them. Like y'all were the only 2 gays that was around them like that." And I was like, "Oh my God, this guy Derek J, he got these heels. Oh my God, how does he walk in those heels like that?" And it was a cool situation when I did meet you in LA. And once I got to see who you were, and you just really took off from my eyes. You were doing everything that I had dreamed of doing, because I wanted to be a talk show host or a radio correspondent. So when I heard you were doing radio in Atlanta and you were, hosting Fashion Queens out of New York with Bevy and Lawrence, and you were just so me. You became so many things that in my head I knew that I wanted to do eventually. And I said, well, if Derek J could do it, and this is my thick sister in Christ, I know I can do it. So,
yes, honey. I'm glad to be an
okay.
inspiration, child.
It
So
was good. I mean, you paved the way for a lot of us. I mean, a lot of things came after you, came after Lawrence. There were things that came after myself, but I know for what I wanted to do, you did those things first.
well, thank you. So I want to start in the beginning. So yeah, we
Mm-mm.
go all the way to the beginning. So you're 36 now. So
Mm-hmm.
when did you know that there was something different about you?
When I knew I was gay, or I knew I was supposed to be on TV.
When you was gay? That's how far back. We go all the way to the beginning.
Oh, we're going back to when I was in 3 years old. Then I knew I was gay in daycare. There was a white. My first kiss was a white boy child. Okay, kiss tongued him down right in that bathroom in Children's World in Richmond, Virginia, on Forest Hill Avenue. I remember that white boy. Um, I didn't know at the time it was called gay. I just
But
knew
that's what.
that
Yeah. So that was my like. When did you know? So you knew you were different, but then also when did you know what the name of it was?
I didn't. The name, growing up in Virginia, there were so many different phrases for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I would watch Jim and the Holograms with my sisters, it was, oh, he might be a little soft.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I would in Vogue give him something he can feel video, and my mom caught me doing the dance in the living room. My grandma was like, oh, he might just be a little, he might be a little, little it may be a little sugary.
Mm-hmm.
It was always a calm. It was always never an aggressive, demeaning word. They always use loving, fun words like, "Oh, he's soft," or "He's sugary," or "He just real playful." And it was never gay. No one ever said the word gay to me. So
Mm-hmm.
like, I wasn't gonna ever learn how to read and figure out what the shit was. And so, you know, so finally, I think when I realized that I knew I was gay, I was at, oh God, I think I was in Los Angeles because I would go visit my mother in the summers in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And this Spanish girl, I was at Compton High School because my grandmother retired from Compton High, and this girl, I was like, "You like boys?" She said, "You be looking at them, you be looking at their meat." I was like, do what? She said, I've been watching you. You've been looking at all the boys, but because when you're like in middle school, high school, you be getting erections and you don't know how to control it. So the fact that all these boys were around me getting hard and didn't know what was going on, I was like, oh, I want to be on the swim team every summer meeting. So I knew I knew exactly what it was then. I said, it's called gay. I said, okay, I get it. And again, you got to remember, Derek, because we're in the same bracket. There was no characters on television for us to identify with. I mean, RuPaul was on television, of course, and I think the first gay man I really noticed on TV was Miss J on Top Model. That was way
Mm-hmm.
different. That was different industry that I was in. I was in college.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
then we only had the two from In Living Color. That
and see,
when they played the gay men.
and
That's
they played gay men. I knew they weren't gay in real life, but I knew they played gay men, and I felt like, well, that's stereotypical. I live in Virginia, and I didn't know any gays that acted like the men on film. So when it came to me filming, um, I was reluctant to say it because it was like, well, I know gay boys, but they don't say they're gay. Or I've met other people that I know are gay that are older, but they don't talk about it. It was a taboo thing at the time. And then there was this whole big phenomenon about the DL black man and how black women are dying. And it was not a good time to be black and gay and on reality TV. It was not a good time. So I didn't really know. I wasn't trying to portray anything. I was just being myself, but I was trying to still be respectful of my family, of my church family, of my school community, and then trying to keep some dignity for myself. But once they got that one sound bite, oh, I'm gay. Here we
they
go.
ran with
BET's
it.
first gay. Mm-hmm.
So now,
So
so you said you were in LA, you're middle school. You're noticing that you're seeing. Did you ever like girls? Did you ever have a girlfriend? Was that your thing?
you know what? There was one girl I liked. Growing up. Oh my God, I remember her name. Her name was Ariel. She was so gorgeous. She ended up posing in Playboy. Uh, one of the girls I took to prom, she's a full blown butch now.
So y'all knew each other didn't want each other at the time.
We knew what we needed to do to keep up appearances.
Right.
Because again, like when I said I was gay on the show, it was a little bit of backlash from some of my relatives. My dad included at first, because it wasn't ever a conversation that was had, but I always felt like everybody knew. Like, how did you
That's what I
not
was about to
know?
ask you. When did you ever have a coming out, or was TV your coming out?
I came out on the show on the first episode. The first thing they clipped, they showed my face and said, "Hi, my name is Ray. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I'm gay." That was my whole intro on the premiere episode. I was like, "Damn, okay, here we are."
So with that being like, because the thing is that because I had a different experience as far as knowing, like you think that that you're gay, but I thought that people didn't know that I was gay. But in your case, you felt like, because you like, I didn't say nothing to nobody, so how are you going to, even though I was gay as hell, but I'm like, but y'all don't know because I didn't tell y'all. But in your case, you felt like they already knew, so
I felt like it was an unspoken truth or
Mhm.
unspoken. Just I thought everybody in my family, like who in my family, did not know. Like I don't feel like any of my cousins or my siblings were shocked or surprised. I don't even feel like my parents were surprised. But I think it was the shock of saying it on television for the world to now have an opinion. And you got to remember at that point in time, reality TV was brand new. College Hill was like, we were the first Black reality series, and I was the first gay to ever be on BET. And it was just a big thing. It was like, oh my God, he's gay. Oh my God, what is his fit? Like it was, it was my dad's coworkers. It was our church members. It was asking my dad questions and asking my sisters questions and my nieces, and it was a whole thing. Like why it became, it did. I felt like in that moment it got taken away from me because it wasn't about me being Ray and on this show, and I'm also gay. It became, well, why did you say this? And now your family has to deal with it. I feel like some of my relatives made it about them when they still ain't known to this day. I'm not saying in a rude way, but it's about me and it is my career. But as I've gotten older and I've been able to mature and learn from different situations, I never want any decision I make on television or in my career to affect my family.
Mhm.
Whether they're having to defend me or speak up for me or, answer a question for someone that they might not feel comfortable answering. Like people ask my dad, oh, he didn't like girls growing up. Like my dad's gonna sit there and really have a conversation with you about if I like girls growing up or not. Because at the end of the day, it's still my dad. I still
Mhm.
respect him. He still respects me. I just did not see it how he saw it and how some of my other relatives saw it, where it's now we're having to be your representative and we're having to speak on things that we don't accurately know about. We don't know when you started. We don't know your exes. Like that, because at that time I wasn't open with my sexuality to my family. I was very guarded with it.
Mhm.
So I see their point now, 15 years later. Because at first I thought they were being selfish. And that's honestly why I went to Los Angeles. I was like, get me the fuck up out of this little hick town, Virginia, and get me somewhere else, girl. I was like, I said I was gay. I'm on TV. Might as well go to LA. And that's the main reason why I left. It was just too much. It was too much at the time because I said I'm from a small town, very church-driven family, and that truth was just that. We was an episode of Greenleaf for a while.
So normally I have a timeline for these interviews. I have a timeline. And I'm like, he jumping really quick, but I forgot that you College Hill, well, you were in college, so it literally was after high school. So I'm like, wait, we're skipping a whole lot, but it's like we're really not skipping a lot because this is how your thing went. So
Yeah, I wasn't active in high school. I wasn't sexually active in high school because I was scared. My dad and my stepmother picked me up and dropped me off everywhere. So it wasn't no sneaking. And my stepmother was a principal at my rival school. So she knew everybody in the city. So Lil Ray won't doing nothing until I got to Petersburg, Virginia, and I had a dorm room and the key. That's when I started getting grown. That's
so
when Misster Ray was born.
when y'all had that, so when that sentence came out your mouth, and now you have to deal. How did your mom react to that? To you personally?
I would say this. My mom was like, well. I knew. Well, I don't know why your dad had like I did. He didn't know. I knew. You know, my grandmother, both my grandmothers was like, "Well, we love you the same, baby."
Mm-hmm.
Um, my granddad was still alive at the time. Both were still alive at the time. Both of them rest in peace. And my granddad, they're old school. One from Mississippi, one straight out of Virginia, and they were just like, long as you are, at the end of the day, you are still a man, regardless of your preference of what you like. You're still a man, and you still have a last name, and you still have a legacy to build. So always remember that. I had some ignorant ass relatives. I ain't gonna say no names.
Right.
You emba- you embarrassed us. You're gonna make your daddy have a heart attack. You this. There's some people that blew up because again, you gotta remember I come from this. I'm from Virginia, a very conservative black family, and gay won't really out. That gay ain't what it is now.
Right.
It ain't. Like I don't even think there were like openly gay coworkers like that back then. Like it was not a. It was just very much you mind your business and I mind mine, and that's what it is. So for me to be the poster boy at that point in time in 2006, it was a lot, Derek. Like I went to LA and said, well they all crazy out in LA. They all out there looking like that. So let me go out there and be comfortable and figure out who I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I
So,
did.
so now with television, as we all know, once you get on television, people already feel like they already know who you are, and it's not
Mhm.
now you're not Ray Cunningham anymore. You're that gay boy off of College Hill, you know. So how
Oh,
right. So how was that trying to because you're still young because you know you're in college, so now you're trying to create who you are. You're trying to find your identity. So how was that experience when people come into a space thinking they already know who you are?
I mean, I will say that Ray from College Hill and Mr. Ray on Love and Hip Hop are two totally different people because these are two different time periods in my life. College Hill, I was innocent. I was naive. I was gullible. I was green to everything. And I still wasn't even sure who Ray was, which is why I always say Mr. Ray didn't really come about until I figured out who I was, what I liked, what I didn't like. You know, College Hill made me grow up. Working with BET made me grow up and realize a lot in terms of just who I am, what I like, what I don't like, time management, collaborating with people. I got a lot of backlash from BET. They never said I was openly gay. They said I had an alternative lifestyle, and then I more because I was the mascot. I morphed into my alternative lifestyle. And while our season was airing, there was a lot of DL specials going on, and all the programming was just all over the place with BET at that point. And I was actually went to Los Angeles. I was graduated. Shout out to Virginia State. And I was working at BET at the time because I was like, okay, they're not really endorsing me like that. Let me just go work. I got a degree in PR. Let me go work. So I was working at BET doing PR, and that's when they were developing the Black Carpet Show. And
Mhm.
I have a big personality. I was doing interviews left and right. I'm working at BET, and I'm on air at BET. A lot of people don't know that. So while College Hill was still airing, I was working at the network that season, that year that show was airing. And Stephen Hill, I'm gonna say his name, said I went to audition for the Black Carpet Show, the red carpet correspondent,
Mhm.
and he told me that America did not want to see black gay men on camera speaking educated, having educated conversations or doing anything outside of fashion commentary. And they gave that job to Takara.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Now,
Um,
before we jump more into that story, let me take you back to college for a second because you said that that's when you became sexually active
yes, in college. Yeah.
in college. So, not being so. How old are you? We go to college like 18, 17,
I
18.
was I was like 17, I was 21 when I graduated, so 17, yeah.
Yeah. So you're 17 years old. You were in this small place. And then now you're over here. You're in college. You have your own freedom. You can be who you want to be. Um,
Hmm.
and you're also doing all this while you're on television. um, but I want to know, as far as like people that might be in this position, getting comfortable with your sexuality and acting on it. How was that experience for you in college?
Okay, so I was new to gay, so like I knew I liked boys. I got to Got to college, the DC voice was on it. The PG Maryland voice was on it. I was meeting dudes from Atlanta, New York, New Jersey. I'm hearing and learning all types of accents. I'm seeing all types of skin tones and skin colors and hair, and I'm just like, woo, okay, this is 75.7. And this whole my first 2 years, it was a lot of oral because I just needed to make sure I mastered that first. Uh, I had to make sure I could master that first.
Right.
And once I got that degree,
Right.
I got my master's in it. But college was a good time for me because I was able to figure out the type of men I thought I liked or that I did like.
Mhm.
I thought, oh, child, I thought I saw something crawl across this counter. Anyway, I got to figure out what I liked and what I didn't like in the man, what I didn't, who I was in a relationship, what I was willing to compromise with, how much pain was I willing to deal with, whether it be physical or mental.
Mhm.
And it was good to learn that. But the whole time I'm doing this, Derek, I'm in my bubble. My daddy ain't gonna find out about this. My mom ain't gonna hear about this. My sisters ain't gonna know. So when the show comes along and now this is now being questioned and
Mhm.
people are asking, well, how do you know that guy in that fraternity? And why are you always hanging out with that guy from the basketball team? And why everything was a question. Now, everything that was normal became a question.
Mhm.
Like it became like a witch hunt. Like they wanted to know every man that was gay. Or ask if they hang with Ray, they're gay. Or ask Ray, they know he knows they're gay if they're gay. And it just became this like I was Miss Cleo on campus. Like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. It became a little intrusive because again, once you see one person that's openly gay, you automatically assume, oh well, if he hangs like you, Derek, if you hang with an athlete, oh, well, he hang with Derek J, so he must be gay too. Not that
Mhm.
we cool, not that we cool and just friends, or I might be good girl, I might be one of your girlfriend's best, good Judy. They just
Mhm.
see you to get with me, and they automatically put him in a box, and then friendships are getting questioned, and people are getting uncomfortable, and it got to be a headache after a while, especially when the show aired, because it was like every single man that I knew that didn't have a switch, they questioned, was he gay? Is he low? What is he? Is he DL? Is he trade?
Mhm.
Like, what is he doing? I'm just like, girl, I don't know.
I'm sure
I
some of
don't
them,
know.
I'm sure some of them was, but not all of them.
But I knew from the beginning it was never for me to confirm or deny someone else's
Mhm.
because I knew for me, I knew I was gay. I knew in my heart I was gay. I knew that much, and I knew that, but I was not able to be myself around my family fully at that time. So saying it was the hardest thing versus knowing it.
Mhm. Mm.
So,
It's so crazy because when I started doing this and I would ask people to say, what they identify themselves as, it's a lot of people that never said like, hey, I'm Derek J and I'm a gay black man. Like they were like it's never, even in an adult age, it was hard for them to say it. It's like, oh, I've
hmm
never said that before. You want me to say I'm
hmm
gay? I'm like, yeah, nigga, you gay. Like I
hmm
need you to say what it is, but a lot of people have never really actually said it out their mouths.
they have not said it. I mean, I know men that's in their 30s right now, living, got big old houses and everything, ain't never had a girlfriend, got a cat, and they ain't said they to their family they gay yet.
Now let's go back to the fact where you talk about you were working at BET and you were on air at the same time. Now, doesn't it? Because I've had this experience when I worked at Oxygen. Was it weird that you were okay for this, meaning you're okay
hmm
for College Hill, but you're not okay for this? Like, oh, we like your personality. Oh, you're amazing, but you're not amazing with this. So how did that make you one feel, and then how did you work yourself through that?
BET. I mean, we're in a good space now, but at the beginning, being on air for BET and looking at some of the edits, and then of course, like I said, just my family reaction to it, and then not working at the network, and almost I felt like it was a slap in the face. I felt like I had left my family. I felt like at one point I had lost my family, left them, went to LA to get away and start over anew. I'm working at this network that's giving me this platform and this new voice, this new life I'm thinking, and they tell me that I'm not what America wants to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first major industry rejection I ever dealt with. And it came so direct. Like he showed up the next day at work and we had a meeting like nothing was said the day before. Like he, in his eyes, he's keeping it real, I guess, based on the demo at that time. And it gave me thick skin immediately. It was like, okay, they're not choosing me because I'm gay. Well, first, before I even got to gay, I was like, oh, they're not picking me because I'm country. I'm from Virginia. I ain't no polished, reality star. But Takara country too. Then I was like, well, they're not gonna pick me because I'm not only am I black and gay, but I'm also big.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, wait a minute, Takara is big too, and she darker than me. So it was like, well, wait a minute. So everything that I was downing myself about, I saw in the other person. So I'm just like, well, she's just as confident as I am. She's just as a big personality like I am. We both plus size at that point in time. We were. I said we both came from reality shows. We were both standouts from our shows. I was like, why can't you just both? Why tell me that I'm not the voice of that America wants to hear from, and we're only good for, fashion commentary. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's it. Like we're only good to talk about hair and clothes and gossip. Like I'm a black college graduate with a
Mm-hmm.
degree, like, and I'm working at a network doing corporate communications, which means I'm reading and I'm writing and preparing your press release materials. So why am I not able to be on television and interview celebrities? That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my first rejection I dealt with, and it made me grow thick skin because it wasn't the first no, it was many no's after that about different things. But I felt like through honest networking and being just as honest with you as I am with everyone else, people always have a soft spot for me. That's right. He gonna keep it real. He gonna say we gotta say, keep it moving. Like I'm not problematic. I'm not bitchy. I'm not a diva. I don't take anything for granted. It's just that I know what works against me and I know what works for me now.
Mm-hmm. And it's so crazy that what those things that work against you shouldn't work against you. So,
It works in the favor. It works in the favor of women, not men.
man, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
So now you have your taste of television. You're working at BT. Because one thing I will say throughout your career, you've always been in something, doing something. Like when I
mhm.
asked you to do my panel we did years ago, I didn't know you had a real job. I was like, oh, you like, no, bitch, I work corporate. I don't have a job.
Oh
I was
yes,
like, I'm like, well, when did you have time to have a job? But
that was nothing but God that I balanced. I was doing PR at Amtrak, working
Mhm.
between DC, New York, and Chicago. And when I wasn't working, that's when I was doing Roland Martin. I was doing WeTV. I was in Atlanta with y'all doing stuff, LA doing stuff. Like I've always just been a hustler, and I've always, as much as I'm always on the go. I'm never just sitting down, not doing anything, because I knew that okay, College Hill was 2006. At this point in time, it's like 2010,
Mhm.
2011. I'm still being recognized for pouring liquor on the floor. I said, I got to be known for more than just that. So
Mhm.
I just I kept networking, kept making myself available to do stuff, kept pushing myself. Okay, let's get back into hosting. Let's not let that BET experience keep me from doing what I want to do, which is when I went to WeTV and had my recap series over there for about 6 years, and I had a talk show over there and hosted their digital awards and did Roland Martin's news commentary, did the local DC news, did radio. I just went and did everything I said I wanted to do because I said something's gonna stick. I don't know what it's gonna be. I didn't think it was gonna be reality TV because I said I wasn't. Remember, I told you I wasn't gonna do another reality show. I
Mhm.
just didn't. After that whole College Hill situation and with my family, I was like, "Ugh." And then Mona Scott came along.
Now, before we get there, before we get there, let's talk about. I want to talk about creating you and becoming comfortable within you because growing up through it during the time that you were becoming an adult, we just had this panel last week where we were talking about no fats and no films, and
Hmm.
about the look of what gay is and being a thicker person in the gay community and just trying to find your way in it. It's just not easy. So you're growing up, you're becoming an adult, you're trying to figure out who Ray is, who you are as a person. How did any of that help you? How did any of that happen for you during this time?
See, this is why they call me a gay rebel. I'm going to give you a very honest response to all
Yeah.
of that. Um, I will say that I was so privileged to have lived my 20s, lived my senior year of college on television, and then my 20s in Hollywood. The whole Fast Old Femmes thing, I made a comment on your Instagram about it. It
I
never
saw, yeah,
affected me.
I saw that comment.
It never affected me, and it never bothered me because the body boys that you and I know, they would call us up and hook up with us before they went to the party. So I didn't want to be at the party showing my fat ass anyway. So thank you for coming over and screwing me and then going to the party because I ain't had to pay and then I ain't had to worry about sitting naked in front of nobody. Um, I mean, and the thing is, some people are not. A lot of men are not honest with what they like and what they don't like. Like I've met men who like my personality. I met men who said they like my lips. I met some men who like me just because of what I do and who I know. Some men like me because I'm from the East Coast and I give them a Southern vibe where I can cook. Or they like the fact that I'm well spoken and well versed and can have a conversation about anything. There's not one just specific thing, or I got a nice booty or something. Like or I'm funny and playful, or we can smoke together. Like there's something about me that everyone is like differently. And I never let my size stop me from doing what I want to do. Because I've been this size my whole life. I ain't never been skinny and got fat after college. I've been this size forever. So right. I graduated this size. I got on TV this size. Got my first dick this size. Like, so got my driver's license this size. I met Oprah Winfrey this size. Mm-hmm. So it's like this size ain't never kept me from nothing, and I wasn't going to allow social media as it developed over the years or the fans who watch these shows make me think that I'm less than because I'm not the same size as them. Because these people that be online talking shit, you go online look on Mother's Day. Look at these mama posts. I ain't seen one skinny mama. Okay? You give your mama that advice. How about that? Worried about my jeans. Worried about your mama jeans. Okay?
No,
like that's me. I
know. So that's about to ask you because so this person that you are, this outspoken. Was that always you in college or your whole life, or did this create? This is not a defense mechanism or anything that you feel like I gotta get you before you get me.
No, I know when to get you if I have to get you.
Gotcha.
There was a point in time in my life, Derek. I want to say maybe it was after I graduated. I was working at BET, living in LA, and making friends and meeting people and learning every lesson in the book there is to learn, easy or hard. I was a very defensive person. Like I'm gonna get you before you get me. And a lot of people who I've been friends with for 10 plus years, like a Jason Lee or Terrell Carter, they said when they met me, I was very abrasive and very combative and just very like, but that's the atmosphere I came from. I had to, at one point in time, I can tell you this. I didn't want BET to say I was gay. I was totally against it. I tried my best to avoid it, the conversation. They kept pressing and pressing forward. And then they sent me a screener in December before the show aired in March. And they said, this is how you're being introduced. And I remember crying and I remember calling my cousin Tiffany in Atlanta. And I was just like, oh my God, girl. They're going to say I'm gay on TV. And she's like, have you talked to your dad? And I was like, I have not. I was like, but I feel like he knows. She said, well, we all know. But she said, I feel like you should talk to him before this airs. Of course, did I take that advice? No. I said, girl, maybe don't. If I bitch and complain and talk shit, they'll take it out. No, they just extended it. Made it a whole thing. So I just was a little combative because I felt like people were trying to take advantage of my gay. Like, oh, he's gay. And, oh, let's ask him these questions. And let's put him in this box. And let's put him this way. And, oh, let's put him, like the guy told me at BET. We only want to hear you talk about hair, gossip, and fashion. I'm not a stylist. I don't do hair. And I'm from Virginia. So at that point, I ain't know no celebrities. So I'm like, are you telling me that I'm irrelevant at this point? Like my gay is not worthy if I'm not being this over the top character that you want me to be. So when I saw you on Housewives and I saw you still in your super tailored blazers, but then I saw your heels, you were still a man. You were still doing hair. Your shoes did not define who you were. You were still Derek J, who did hair. You see what I'm saying? And so seeing those kind of images, even though I was already on television, those kind of images helped me be comfortable with who I was.
You know what? You are so well spoken. That's that college degree.
Yes.
So now we're moving. So like I said, you had all these things that you had going on. Now let's talk about how you got with Mona.
Hey, Mona girl, are you watching? I have nothing but love for Mona Scott. Actually, Nia Riley, you know Nia.
Mm-hmm.
When the first season of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood premiered, I knew the whole cast. I had just left LA actually. And actually, people don't even know this. Tierra Marie actually hit me up to be on the first season. I had just left LA to go to Atlanta, and then I went to DC, and she hit me up, and she was like, "Well, when you come back, I got you." So by then, two or three seasons went by. Jason Lee again was on there by then. Nia, Masika, Moniz, Ray J, Fizz, Sincere. I mean, I knew this whole cast because I knew, I was in LA since '06 working at BET. So I knew everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I relocated back to LA in 2016, me and Mystique and Moniz hit me like, "You back?" I was like, "Yeah, girl, I'm about to relaunch my PR company. I'm not working with Amtrak no more." I got a phone call that next day. The next day I had a FaceTime call. Like everything happened for me in a week in September. And then I was filming by February and on the
Okay.
show. It was I never thought I'd be on that show. I always said that if I did another reality show, it would have to be way bigger than College Hill because College Hill has stood the test of time. I mean, they're still doing marathons of it. And I said, College Love and Hip Hop is big. I said, they be fighting on there and get knocked upside the head and the wigs be flying. I was like, Lord, is this realistically?
Right.
Like, because coming from DC, DC is way more conservative than that.
Mm-hmm.
So me drinking tequila at noon was risky for them. So, I did it, and we all saw the first season. Arguably, I think season 4 was the best season. It was traumatic coming back to reality TV because Love and Hip Hop is shot way differently from what I remembered of College Hill in terms of the glam and the hair and the wardrobe and them picking you up and taking you to the location and you not knowing who you're filming with and you don't know necessarily what the conversation is going to be. And I did not know Zell from a can of paint, child. So
But
I was
that's
like, oh,
that's what. Before we get into Zia, I just wanted to say, I'm not a Love and Hip Hop watcher because it's just a bit much for me.
too much for me.
Yes, but the thing about it is that you had created this whole person, and this whole career. That's what I would say is opposite of what Love and Hip Hop is, and then you got thrown into this space where now you have to be this whole other person that you're not. And then I know that people said that Real Housewives of Atlanta represented gay black men wrong. They felt like it wasn't the best representation of gay black men. But baby, y'all is off the chain. Like and it also kind of goes to show for people that really want to be famous and want to be known, would do anything to be on television. Which that's a whole other story, which I'm not going to talk about that right now. But so let's talk about your experience on Love and Hip Hop. So you're there. It's the 4th season of Love and Hip Hop. Is your first season there? So you go through the season. So talk to me about just that.
I was excited to join. It was Love and Hip Hop. It's the largest franchise. It's Hollywood. Now I'm on a reality show about living and working and partying and socializing in Hollywood on the #1 cable series. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, cool. And then I'm coming on with Keisha Cole, Brooke Valentine, Bridget Kelly. Zell came on that season as well. I'm like, these are people I listened to their music in college. Like Keisha Cole, like I loved Keisha Cole. I even did PR for her when she had her shows at BET during the time that I was working there. So I was like, oh, this is my comeback. Like I'm no longer Ray from College Hill now. I'm Misster Ray from Love and Hip Hop.
Mm-hmm.
Child, that first scene was that scene with Masika, Zell, and I, and he was standing up on the table. So you know me, they were already late picking me up. I was nervous about filming because I don't know what I'm walking into, what the scene is. I'm drinking tequila. They finally get me there. and like it's a full set, like it's a movie set. It's lights, it's camera, it's action, it's security everywhere, and I'm just like, Miss Beyonce here? They all wait on me. They wait on me. And we saw how that scene went, and I would say that Love and Hip Hop is definitely a over the top character of me. Um, do I talk to this entire cast when we're not working? No. I read the blogs like y'all do, so I hear about it when y'all hear about it most of the time. If someone hasn't texted me already and told me, there are some people who come on this show and they're brought here to be just what you see of them on television, an asshole. There's some people who are brought here to stir the pot. And we all have a job to do on that show, whether it's promoting our individual brands or, playing into, not saying playing into, but being a part of someone else's storyline of helping them tell their story. It's just that, these shows become so produced that sometimes the truth becomes the smallest part of the scene and the drama is the bigger part. And you forget why we're even here in the first place and why we're even connected, why I'm even here talking to you. Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for Love and Hip Hop, I wouldn't have a conversation with Zell. You see what I'm saying? Outside of him knowing people on the show that I know, that's fine. I would have never had a conversation with him. It would have never been a confrontation with him. It ain't been one since him in real life. And and I just feel like that was another situation where I felt like it was a smack in the face because I felt like it wasn't fair in terms of the editing. It was, every scene, it was fat this, fat that, fat, 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 fat. Your boyfriend was fat that you was dating and even got you to LA in the first place. So I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Listen,
Okay, cool.
that's a whole other story on in his own right.
Yeah, and I wasn't understanding, and I felt like at that point in time, production was, favoring Zell. Oh, Zell's going to turn up, and he's going to say this. He's going to jump, leap, and fly, and hop, and skip all over the place. Mr. Ray's not giving that. Mr. Ray is giving, like, girl, what's my natural reaction? Like, girl, I drink too much liquor. Why are you moving so fast? And then even with the reunion and with that sneak attack, he said he felt like he was bullied the whole season because the girls were picking on him and X, Y, and Z and all that other shit. I forgave him. I did not forget what happened. A lot of people were like, well, you forgave him, and that's what allowed him to come back on the show. If he's gonna come back on the show, he's gonna come back on the show whether I forgave him or not. That's just how VH1 works. I had to let that go because I had built the name for myself. I was Mr. Ray before Love and Hip Hop. It will be Mr. Ray after Love and Hip Hop. And I worked too hard to build my name and have the resume that I had to let anybody tarnish my name or make me feel like that I'm less than. Now, I don't care how many likes you get. I don't care how many fans you get. We'll see where everyone is at in 15 years.
That is true. Now the thing, so it will be as far as gay men on the show in the Hollywood, it was you and you drinking that tequila, child. You getting hot.
Ooh, you felt it. I said, "Woo!"
It will be you and Zell were the only two at the time on there.
Prior to us, it was Milan,
right?
Christopher, Miles,
but we're talking about now.
Yeah, now. Jason Lee is back with us now. He does his gossip, whatnot. And there's no shade towards him either. He's evolved into what he is as well. I know the old Jason, and it's good to see growth. And I think that he's done a good job at building his name. It's just that it gets to be. I feel like people are super judgy on the gay men that are on Love and Hip Hop. Like you have Bobby Lights, you got Jonathan. Then you had Sydney Star. Well, Sydney Star is transgendered.
But now you got is Santana on there now?
He was on there. He was on Miami's last season. Talking about that. Oh, they're picking the super extra gay guys. Well, on a reality show, you're supposed to pick and select the most liveliest cast members to keep the stories going. Because if you have everybody on there that's like candy, that's neutral and don't want to be a part of drama, there's no drama.
Right. Well, what I've learned about being on television, which I know you had this, is that people always complain that they don't have the representation of a masculine gay man, right? But then when you ask them, when you say, well, hey, stand up, and they be like, oh no, well, not me, I can't do that. But it's like,
I don't want to be there.
I don't want to be there. So it's like you can't be upset about something that you're not willing to stand up for. Like, you know, I think that, and once again, masculinity is quite subjective.
It's questionable.
Yeah.
Because they're the same men that you and I know that won't get on TV and play a gay character will get on Twitter and make an OnlyFans and get fucked in the ass and play their booty hole all day on Twitter.
Right.
You can go on television and get a contract and get endorsements and create a platform for yourself after that. But you don't want to do that on TV because you don't want to get stereotyped and typecast. But you on OnlyFans, getting fucked every day for $2. Okay.
Well, that's a difference in priorities. Now I know. So this last season that you were on, I know that you had you had a bout of alopecia.
Oh, good. Yeah, but we got hair now.
No, I saw it good. So when did you notice that something was changing with your hair?
When I thought back on it, it was definitely before this. This was the second time it happened, but this was way more severe. While I was working at Amtrak in DC, I was, like I said, traveling from DC to New York, Chicago, and then in between had all those gigs going on. And I felt like, and at the time, my hair was falling out, and I felt like I said, "Oh, I'm just stressed." I diagnosed myself. So I went to the dermatologist. "Oh, I'm stressed. My hair is falling out." But then it got to the point where it was so thin, like you could see my scalp. And so I told my barber, "Just cut it off." And if you look at old pictures of me from like 2013 or 14, my hair was very low. I had no beard, no goatee, no nothing. And I didn't know what it was. I said, maybe it's just stress. I'm on the railroad, or I'm having an allergic reaction to the shampoo. I'm using Pantene Pro V. My sister was like, "Oh, use Shea Moisture. That's for Black folks." So I'm doing all this stuff, you know, changing my diet up. And my girlfriend, Maya, you know Maya Sly.
Yeah.
Maya was like, "You got alopecia." She was in DC. She and I were doing Rolling Martin. She was like, "Your hair pattern." She was like, "You have alopecia. I see your soft spots and I see your hair spots." And I said, "What's that?" And she was like, "It's an autoimmunity." She said, "People don't know how you get it. Some people lose everything and it never grows back." She said, "But I can see where your hair is growing back. So you probably have alopecia retina." And I was like, so that's why I started looking it up, went to the dermatologist. And he told me it was, you know, stress, there's stress factors, there's diet factors. I mean, anything could be a trigger and make my hair fall out again. So I'm not arguing with no bitches. I went a whole year looking like a hard-boiled egg, and I am not doing that ever again. No. No. Because it's a different feeling, Derek, when you wake up and there's no eyebrow, no eyelash, no mustache, no goatee. Like, I already don't have hair on my arms and my legs and other places as it is. But it's like, I didn't feel like a man in that moment. Like, I felt so emasculated. It was like, bitch, I'm bald. I'm bald. I had to shave it all off because it was spotting so bad at one point. I had no goatee. I've had a goatee since I was on College Hill, so that's 15 years of a beard. And I just didn't like who I looked like. And then it was like I wasn't in the best of shape either. So a little bit of hair I had that was covering up stuff was showing everything now. And I just did not like it. I didn't like how I looked. I didn't like how I felt. I probably shouldn't even been in a relationship at that point in time because my mind was toxic. My spirit was toxic. I just did not like who I was. I was drinking heavy and, you know, dabbling in different things and just making all the wrong decisions. And on top of that, I'm filming this show that is known to make fun of every little thing, and everything you say and do or how you look becomes a meme or a gif or a topic. And of course, I trended. Oh my God, Misster Ray looks like Dr. Evil. Bitch, I know I look like Dr. Evil. I do it when I did the green screen. I didn't want to do it, but I got to do it to get this check. So I'm contracted. I have no choice, you know. And I'm not going to say the production was any more lenient on me. I just felt like my needs were not as addressed. My concerns and things that were going on with my personal life were not addressed as some other cast members' things were addressed, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Now, most Black people don't talk about this. Black people don't talk about this enough, and especially gay Black men don't talk about. Well, gay Black people don't talk about enough. But during this time, and you going through, like, you've been on TV most of your life, you know. So, yeah. Were there times where you went through depression or had dark times or times where you had to get? And if so, how did you work yourself out of that space?
Last year was a hard time for me. 2019, again, like that was my hair was gone. Like I said, bitch, we're about to be filming. I had no eyebrows. I had to get my eyebrows microbladed, which they've grown in now.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I had no face. From here up, there was no hair,
Mm-hmm.
just skin, neck, and fat head. And I'm just like, I can't film. I can't wear a hat every day. So I'm trying to find hats to wear every day. I'm trying to make sure I'm not in no drama and those things so they don't flip my hat off just in case it's
Mm-hmm.
the day I didn't shave my hair and I got little hair patches here and there. It was I just felt so low and I was drinking heavy and I was in a relationship I probably shouldn't have been in at the time because again, like I said, I was not ready for that. Mentally just dealing with all this and then the show was airing and then I didn't even look flattered. Like they didn't even try to give me the flattering angles like sit this way or do this. Or, like okay, now I felt targeted. I felt like, okay, y'all aren't letting me address this on television. My green screen, I'm looking like a golden hard-boiled egg, and everybody else got this super fabulous lighting. I was like, I just did not feel the respect. I felt low. I just felt like I was a just easy, fun, laughing target. That's how I honestly felt.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not production's fault. It wasn't anybody's fault. It wasn't their fault that I lost my hair. So it wasn't until I made a post on Facebook about cause people were like, oh, he got AIDS or he has cancer or he
Mm-hmm.
has lupus or he's sick. I'm like, well, bitch, if I'm any of these things, please let me know because I'm still 243 pounds. I ain't lost a pound yet. And the fact that I had to even go in and make an announcement to just say what I was dealing with and how I felt about it, it did end up on a lot of blogs. And then, the network comes finding, oh, you should have told us. So you thought I just showed up here on Friday with just a bald head, no eyebrows on purpose? Like, like treat me like you treat some of these other folks on here with these exaggerated storylines, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna get into all that, but that's just how I was feeling about it, and I was very defensive about it. And thank God, a lot of people reached out to me. I mean, men, women, gay, straight, white, black. So many people dealt with alopecia, and I did not know it was such a common thing. Like, a lot of women were hitting me saying the reason why I wear my wigs or I wear these lace fronts or I get this hair done every month, spend $1,000 on hair, and they would show me their scalp, and they were just as patchy as me. I mean, celebrities included, and I even had LT Hutton, the producer who did the Tupac movie, reached out to me, and he said Tupac had alopecia, and that's why he was bald a
Mm-hmm.
majority of his later part of his life as well. And once I was able to see those other people living with it, and I saw people with way more extreme, severe cases of it than I did. I even met Norman from IG, and Norman even
Mm-hmm.
reached out to me. And I
Mm-hmm.
just met so many people who were embracing it and living with it and owning it. I said, you know what? I don't need to be embarrassed about this. There's so many other things that people are dealing with right now, and I'm on television and I'm wasting this opportunity because I'm so embarrassed about not having eyebrows or not having hair. Bitch, I can put a Gucci hat on and be done with it and keep going. Nobody will even know what happened. So I had to get myself out of that because you know how we are, Derek. Us as gay men, our appearance to us, even whether you're wearing labels or not, your appearance is everything to you. And just to not have hair, the simplest thing,
Mm-hmm.
hair. I was like, Lord, why can't you just take one of my toenails or something like that? Why you take my facial hair and my eyebrows? Like I can't be on I can't be on TV reading nobody like that. And that's the first thing you're gonna say is well, your hair ain't baldy.
Right.
So so it was a last year was a humbling experience for me, very humbling. Like, hey, you get no more humble than that.
So, dating in the gay world on television, being known. How is that reality? Because can it work? Can we find love in this world that we're in? Um,
Can you let's rephrase it. Can you find dick anywhere? Yes. Can you
okay.
find butt anywhere? Yes. Can you find somebody who want to spend your money anywhere? Yes. Are there a bunch of are there a bunch of people out there who want your connections? They want the benefits of being your friend. Yes. It's just a matter of what you got to be honest and don't doubt your discernment. Derek, we meet these men. We know what they're about when we first meet them, but we can play stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to be alone tonight? And I know tomorrow he's gonna wake up and probably take a picture of me laying in this bed. He probably gonna tell all his friends he met me. He probably gonna ask me to help him pay his cell phone bill next week because he already said he ain't got no job right now. I know cell phone due soon. So it's like you have to just be realistic with the man. That's what I would say, realistic. If that man is dating you because he wants to be seen on your social media and wants to get to these parties and network, I would say, man, just be upfront. If this is a networking thing for you, please let me know so you can get yourself to the event home on your own. Um, don't waste my time. And I'm very
Mhm.
upfront with every man I meet about that. Like, I ask every man, what you want? I ask. I'm at that point now because I'm 36. I'm not trying to date somebody for 2 years to find out later that they had a whole other boyfriend and they were only being with me to be seen. Like I don't. We hear about that all the time, and
Yes.
people people get heartbroken about that, get depressed about that, and people taking their lives over that. And you ain't doing none of that to me. Listen, I'll use you before you use me. Okay? I'll get plenty of crab legs out of you before you get a gig out of me.
My thing is that a sad way of living for us?
It sucks because most gay men want to be on TV. They look at us, oh, look at Derek, look at Ray, look at this person, that I could do it. I mean, it's to the point where they're making their own reality shows on YouTube now. They can't get
Mhm.
on these other shows, so they're making their own shows. They're not looking for love. They're looking for the comfort of fame. A lot of gay men aren't looking for love, unfortunately. And then with you, the business that you and I are in, we meet those guys. We meet those guys that are traveling and on their way up or trying to go upward. And so we get those people more than the average guy who just wants to sit at home and chill and drink wine and watch Game of Thrones and just talk about life. We get the people that's trying to be at the party with us who want to be seen, but be around the people that we know. So I mean, it comes with the territory. I mean, I knew that from the beginning. Um, I knew it came with the territory, and like I said, being in television as long as I've been in television, I have come to expect it all, and I've seen it all. So I see it up front. So whether I choose to play dumb or not just depends on how good the dick is.
Well, have you experienced love?
One time, I do believe that there was a guy that I reconnected with recently,
Mhm.
that I met in college before College Hill, and we've been on and off throughout these 15 years. And he actually was sick. He had COVID-19, and he had posted on Facebook, and I reached out to him. We started texting and talking again. We're just catching up. And I would say that's probably someone that I will admit that I did love.
Mhm.
Um, he was, oh my goodness, I remember exactly what it looks like. He actually, remember when Danny Kane performed down here in Atlanta Pride when right when
Mhm.
D Woods left? He was with me then. I remember we came together to that event. I don't know. He would definitely be one of the ones that I say I definitely cared about. And the politics of me being in California or him being in Atlanta or whatever the case may be played into that. But I'm open to date. I just don't bullshit. I'm not gonna just be honest. That's where I'm at with it. Like I'm grown. I'm like my auntie. I'm like one of my older aunts now. Like I'm just very blunt. Like you want some ass, you want some food, you need a bill paid, you want to be with me, you trying to be on TV. Like just be straight up with me because I'm gonna always be straight up with you.
Mhm. Mm. So this is the last question. Now,
Wait a
from
minute, is you dating, girl? Is you dating?
you know what? No, I am. I'm not. I mean, I'm in the same position. No, I'm not dating. I would like to date. I would like to have a boyfriend, but like I said, it gets tiresome. Like at the end of the day, it's like I don't want to play this game with you. I don't want to. I don't. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't feel like playing the game. Like I don't want to play dumb. I don't want to play like. I don't want to play like. And like you said, let's just be honest. And it's so crazy because all of those guys that you do all that with and you play those games with, then 2 years later they back on your phone again telling something. Oh, I really messed up. But you're like, but I moved on since then. I'm going about my business now. Like, so now you ready I can't be on your time. I can't be on your time or when you're ready to be with somebody. Like so no. Am I dating right now? No. Am I open to dating?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the same with you. Am I open to dating? Yes. I would love to meet somebody. I would love to spend time with somebody. Like when
Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah,
travel
you want to
around.
have somebody with you.
You want to have somebody? We get booked for gigs, child. You get 2 tickets. You want to take somebody with you? I'm tired of taking my
So
sister
do.
with me. I don't want to take my good girlfriend with me, child. I don't want you to be with me, rich. So it's a space, and then with like what you said, when you playing the game and all that kind of stuff, he was like, "Am I a fool?" Because I feel like I'm a fool, but because you feel
Mhm.
like a fool in this picture. You like. this just don't feel right. Like, why am I doing this shit? So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Well,
For me.
Misster Ray is single, so all the working men with nice sized bird, come on over here, show me the word.
From a scale of 1 to 100,
Mm-hmm.
1 being the worst, 100 being the best. When you look at Ray and say, "I love me and who I am," how sure are you when you say that?
Today, now that I've been drinking this tequila this whole time, I definitely love myself. I feel like we're all in a position where we can love ourselves more in
Mm-hmm.
terms of just what we allow in our life, the energies we allow in our life, the situations we allow, the things we manifest, the things that we speak into existence. I feel like we all are in a place to just grow, and nothing's 100% because everything's 100%. It wouldn't be as much confusion and chaos as it is.
Right.
So for my personal growth and development, I would say out of a scale of 1 to 100, I'm in like the 75th, close to 80th percentile because I know
Okay.
the things I want to work. I know the things I want to work on. Like I'm 36 now, so I don't want to be above bottom at 36, but I also want to be a little bit more in shape. You know,
Mm-hmm.
eat right from a blood type. I know I probably want to cut back on drinking a little bit. This COVID-19 don't count because ain't nothing to do but sit home and smoke hookah and drink anyway. So, but I'm in a place where I'm recognizing my worth and what my contributions have been. Because you and I've talked about it. A lot of times you don't see you and I and numerous other people at these events being recognized or being
Mm-hmm.
honored or being invited. You see the same 3 or 4 that have white counterparts and on
Mm-hmm.
white mainstream shows. And those of us that do the black shows, we don't really get recognized for anything. We're totally not acknowledged at all, as if we're
Mm-hmm.
not there and we're not the ones that's driving these characters that mainstream that they try to imitate,
Mm-hmm.
emulate. So I've just learned to just congratulate everyone. I'm at that place in my life where I'm just trying to congratulate everyone and whatever is not going on in my life that I feel like should be going on in my life. I'm doing whatever I can in my power, honestly, legitimately, to get myself there because I feel like if it's meant for you, it's meant for you. Fortunately, we just got some people that's in position that can put other people there
Mm-hmm.
and keep them there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just in a reflecting phase right now in my life. I'm very happy. I can't complain, and God is good, and I'm thankful to still be working 15, 16 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm glad my hair grew. I got my edges back from the 20s. Because I'm gonna tell you something, it's very awkward. Well, see, you have your hair cut low.
Oh
I
no,
had to do some
but no, I
discipline.
have a no. This is gone here, and this is gone in here, so I understand.
I was very sensitive about people touching my head. So whenever I would be intimate and had a little friend over, he tried to touch my head. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Now you can now you can rub your hands all up into there now. I'm not as uptight about that as I used to be. No, but I'm in a great place. I'm really good. Look, bitch, my hair even sitting up now. Yes, Lord, come on, new growth.
But Ray, as always, thank you for all of your honesty. Thank you for being authentic. Thank you for this keeping it all the way 100 as you always do.
Yes. And thank you for having me, Derek. And like I said, you are definitely one of the icons in the community. Like I said, you're the first black gay man I've seen host a show. You were the first man I seen on TV with heels. You got your own salon. I mean, you've done a lot in the community. Like I said, you're one of those people I feel like should be included in these pride celebrations and
Thank you.
these televised LGBT events that only invite one minority group from one show, which I won't get into all
But
that.
we're not gonna talk. But that's a whole nother show. But no, but thank you. So you stay right here, okay? Stay right here for me.
Okay.
Oh, that's Ray Cunningham, giving us all that good information. And it's like this, letting us know more about him. Because, like I said, we always see people on television. We think we know who they are, where they came from, and how they got there, but we really don't know. And I'm thankful that he allowed us to be a part, to learn more about him and turn us a part of his journey. Next week, I have Big Frida next week. So that's going to be quite exciting. And we're going to be talking to her about her rise in the music industry and how we got things together. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys next week.